I just finished playing over 30 hours of Java Edition in the Tails and Trails snapshot, when I realized that the banner map markers would be a great addition to this update to allow Bedrock players to accurately mark their trails. Mojang is always talking about parity between versions and bringing features from one edition to the other. However, as a Bedrock player, here are the 10 features that I missed the most while playing Java and would desperately love to see on the Bedrock Edition. And of course, we'll start by mentioning the banner map markers. Being able to mark your own maps in specific places so you can tell people where to go is a great way to mark them a trail, you could say, but the information on the map could also tell them a tale. I think this is a perfect fit for the theme of 1.20, and so if there's one parity feature they need to do right now, it's definitely this one. However, banners would be useful for more than just marking maps. I think if you're talking about banner parity, the other bit that people really love is banners on shields, and I totally agree that if we're going to make 1.20 a customization update where you can trim your armor in so many different styles, there's literally millions of different combinations that you can have now. However, if that's going to be the case, why is it that at the same time they're saying you can't put banners on shields? This is something that works great on the Java Edition and has not worked for a while on Bedrock. The only reason I can think you wouldn't do it on Bedrock is because you're worried that people would have offensive shields and show those off online. But honestly, most people would just use their shield to show off their flags or something like that, and are flags really that offensive? And even if you were to argue that there's something super offensive people put on their shields when they're blocking in combat, ultimately, when it comes to it, if you can have something so offensive on a shield, you'd be able to have it on a banner by default on Bedrock now anyway, so I don't think it's a particularly compelling argument, and I also think that I don't think it's a particularly challenging thing for tech reasons. It's something they could do, and they could make a lot of players happy because they could finally customize their shields in a way they actually want to. Speaking of something that people want to really do, I think spectral arrows has to be the next example of this, because the desire to shoot things and just watch them glow is far too high. I mean, right now, oh no, look at that, there's a spectral arrow coming towards me. Oh, it just hit me so hard. And what's that? I'm glowing now, and suddenly I'm telling you that you can subscribe to the channel, and if you do so, then greater than 90% of people who are dead aren't subscribed, and greater than 90% of people who are subscribed to the channel are alive. Wow, those statistics do sound great. Whoa, I got hit by an arrow and I started glowing and saying some weird but true facts right there, didn't I? But yeah, no, you get the point that, like, it's really odd that the spectral arrow doesn't exist on Bedrock, and I do actually understand this one. The glowing effect does require a rework of the engine or something along those lines, but they have been reworking the Bedrock engine quite constantly. The Render Dragon, they like to call it. That's a seriously cool name for a game engine, and you're telling me they can't work out how to make glowing entities? This is one of my favorite things to do, and honestly, although there is some danger, I was in a cave, there was a warden there, I had a spectral arrow, I wanted to shoot him and make him glow so bad. Although that is a real risk that you can run into, ultimately the spectral arrow does more good than harm, just like how more achievements probably could do the same. I admit this is something Mojang is tackling every single update, but every Minecraft Bedrock platform, with maybe Sony's PlayStation 4 being the weird exception, does have an achievement system built into it. And so you can earn these achievements, and they're kind of universal, but there's only so many of these when compared to Java. I do like the achievement system on Bedrock, but I would really love the number of achievements there are on Java. There's so many odd Java-specific achievements, which do make you feel accomplished when you achieve them in the game, but even on the very, very, very late game of the spectrum, Minecraft Bedrock's hardest achievement is getting 1,000 emeralds, whereas Minecraft Java's hardest achievement is how did we get here? And I mean, I didn't get there, but whoever did get there, how did they get here? What the heck is going on right now? Getting every single effect is insane, but I love the idea of something to aim for, and Minecraft giving you that, honestly, would be a pretty good tale. Okay, not everything in this video has to relate to Tales or Trails. I'm just saying, if you're looking at features anyway, that's a great time to add them. Every update, any update theme that fits the brand, parity best, it has to be Tales and Trails, because all of these features would perfectly fit that, maybe besides the offhand slot, because right now, Java has an extra inventory slot we don't get to use on Bedrock. If you want, you can put a shield in there without a banner, you can put in some arrows, or some tipped arrows, or even some fireworks, or a totem of undying. That is everything that fits in the Bedrock offhand slot. And it's really, really strange in my opinion, because there is a whole inventory slot, and we know it works, but it will not be given to us in its full like it does on Java. And the closest thing to an official reason we have for this is because they don't want to give us the offhand slot until they give us the new combat, and they don't want to give us the new combat so they can work out how to make it less controversial. But it's been years and they haven't worked out how to make Java players not mad at the combat. Either commit to adding it to Bedrock or commit to not adding it to Bedrock and give us the offhand slot. I mean, it's ridiculous. It's like, ooh, I've got my phone in my right hand, and so I can't pick up my controller in my left. It just doesn't work. Oh, you see that? I want to pick up my mug and tell you about my how we'll all literally die someday, but it doesn't work because I've got the phone in my hand. I have to drop this and then pick this up with my right hand. That is the Minecraft logic we exist with on Bedrock right now. Sorry for the loud noises. Speaking of being sorry for things, I just think Minecraft should be overall more sorry that we have a whole offhand system which could allow for so many fun combinations. I enjoy particularly having a pickaxe in one hand, a torch in the other, but I also enjoy when you're going to some of the hardest places in Minecraft, experiencing the situation where you get to have your food in one hand but still defend yourself while you're eating. Having to switch between them is so unnecessarily stressful, and that is a tale I don't want to tell. I lied. I said I'd stopped relating it to Tales and Trails, but something that definitely isn't related is the hunger system from Java. This is, I kind of alluded to this by wanting to have some food in my left hand and my sword in my right. Wait. Please tell me I've got my sword lying around. Oh, why would I throw away my sword? Part of what would make some structures in Minecraft less daunting and ridiculously punishing is being able to have a sword in one hand while also being able to have food in the other to eat between those situations. But the other half would be adding the Java regen system. Basically, Java has a reward for being at max saturation, for being at max hunger, and it will heal you faster because you clearly need it if you eat that quickly. And it basically rewards you for having super high energy foods like the real world does. If you're dying and your leg is broken, slowly eating melon slices till you get back to health is not going to work as effectively as taking, I know, the equivalent of drugs, like a, I guess like a golden apple makes you hallucinate, but like, you want to eat some real good hearty food if you want to recover from something like that. Also, I don't have my Minecraft sword anymore, so my Wii U is the closest thing I've got. Or my Wii U gamepad, I guess I should say. And, but yeah, the idea, but that should not get in the way of, the Wii U edition is great, by the way. We need to go back to the Wii U edition at some point, right? What a classic OG edition this thing was. Look at the size of this controller. It is ludicrous. Anyway, speaking of things that are ludicrous, us not having Java healing is one of those things, and you don't realize until you get hit and it takes half your health away, and you just have to sit there and wait, and it takes 4 seconds per half heart to regenerate, meaning that if you get down past, once you lose 15 half hearts, so you're at 2.5 hearts, it takes a minute to get up to full health. A minute! You can't do anything dangerous because you will die for a minute! A minute! 60 seconds! That's too long in my opinion. Speaking of too long, I'm gonna throw the Wii U controller back in the case. If you hear a bad noise, that means I probably can't do the Wii U video. Oh, that was fine, right? That was borderline. It only hit something on the way back from the box, so I think we're good. And the cat we can just throw in there anyway. Speaking of cats that we can throw, I think that one of the biggest cattiest things Minecraft could do is add superflat that is custom. This has nothing to do with Tales and Trails, finally, but I think the way you can customize your superflats on Java, and indeed Console Edition, is so fun. It allows for so many new avenues, and honestly, I like to tell lots of tales about the time I played Minecraft Console Edition. I've still got a screenshot on my desktop of, playing a super flat world and having shipwrecks just appear out of nowhere. I absolutely love, I've got so many. Look at this, it's a world made of coral and there's just a shipwreck here. I love this. Looking around at some of the old super flat worlds, there were so many fun challenges, and even if you didn't care about them for the sake of the challenges, super flat being custom is something that most people just have this intuitive love for, and I am one of those people. And why is it possible on Java? Why is it possible on Console Edition? Do we want want Bedrock to be the worst addition? No, we don't, so we should add super flat. I also think that hardcore is a logical addition. This is something that's probably a bit more controversial. This, I could see there being a Bedrock argument for like, well, if we allow, we can't have a game mode that deletes players' console edition saves. Hypothetically, they might be able to say that. And honestly, I don't know if there are console manufacturers or iOS or Android rules about this, but presuming there's not, and as best I understand it, it must be the case that you can force someone to at least go spectator in their world to get around that like they do on Java. I think that when you die, there should be a way to make it permanent. I think that if you want these hardcore hearts and you want the fear of being like, oh god, is there a skeleton? I'm at 2.5 hearts and I'm playing Bedrock, so that means I'm not going to heal for long enough before he gets here. That would be something that'd be a lot of fun, and I think hardcore, the healing, the offhand, it all ties in together, maybe even the spectral arrows. I bet it'd be easier to see that skeleton if he was glowing. I think this all ties it together, and so that brings me very nicely into my we're getting close to the end here, but the rooftop never is something that bugs me, and let me explain why. It's like that SpongeBob meme where you ask Mojang, because they've said they won't add it to the game, and you ask, but why? It's a feature on the Java edition. And they're like, oh, well, you see, you can build on top of the Nether. Yup. And you've been able to do so for most of a decade. Yup. And you don't intend to fix it. Yup. Makes sense to me. Then so you should add it to Bedrock because it's a parity feature. No, that's a bug, actually. And it's like, if you're not going to remove a feature and you acknowledge that it's in the game and you're going to keep it there, that to me sounds like the definition of a feature. There's a big joke in video games that it's not a bug, it's a feature. Literally, that even works for the mascot, the A of Minecraft. That is a direct comparison you can make to this game, and yet they're still going to lean on this very shaky logic. Either own up to the fact that they don't think it will work, or they have performance issues, or fix those performance issues, make it work, and add the rooftop network to Bedrock, or at least say you're going to. It's so frustrating to argue like, oh yeah, it's a feature we're just not going to remove, but that, because it's a bug we're just not going to remove, and we're going to keep supporting and allowing in the game, because that's not what bug means necessarily. It definitely can blur the line, but you know what definitely doesn't blur the line? The boat crafting recipe. I think the boat crafting recipe is definitely more accurate on Bedrock, but after doing it so many times on Java, I'm just lazy at this point. It's just nice to click the buttons, have the thing happen, and move on. If we're getting to the point where we're taking things from Java, I've exhausted the list to get to 9, and so my 10th one is just going to be the boat. Actually, I lied. I've got an 11th one right here. I love how on Java, all the salmon are always medium. I love that they don't have big salmon, small salmon. I don't like variety in my salmon. You know what else I hate? I hate that, bridging forwards. I love the way you have to, look behind and not have any vision of where you're building when you're placing blocks on Java. They totally should add that to Bedrock as well. And more seriously, I hope that you enjoyed this video, but I also hope that someone from Mojang listens and just knows these are important features to us. There are a lot of features in Minecraft, Java exclusively, there's a lot of features in Bedrock exclusively, and although there's quite a few that seem like they, are important, these are the ones that will make players happy. These are the ones where when you add any individual item on this list, people go, yes, the game got a little bit better. And so if you want to make Minecraft Bedrock better, outside of every single new update, which they're going to keep on doing, these are the things you've got to add, and I hope that someone listens. And if you're not going to listen, then I hope you enjoyed watching, because, I don't know, subscribe, but everyone on YouTube says that, so how about don't subscribe? How about go and do something that makes your day a little better today, and then hopefully you'll have a greater tomorrow. So, thank you, and I'll see you there if it's a good tomorrow, and if it's a bad tomorrow, guess, just gonna remind you that we're all gonna die someday, huh? Ooh, is that ibxtoycat.store? You can buy that? Wow, it is, and you get not one mug, you get 2? Wow, for the same price? That is a great deal, Toycat. I love the little chibi Toycat too, it's so cute. Speaking of things I love, the ending of this video. Bye. Hope I'm enjoying my trip.